Hello again. Welcome back to a day on the range. We are going to do some shooting, but today I'm going to talk about the books I've written. Somebody has been asking questions about them, and Ron from Ron's Archery is reading them, and every once in a while he'll slide me a line from the book into his comments, and it took me a little while to realize what he was doing. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying them, Ron. Anyway, so I've written 6 books to date. I'm currently working on 3. I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, just going to talk about the books I have here. I don't have all 6. I thought I did, but I'm shy of some copies. So anyway, the first book I ever wrote was before I retired, and it was called The Staff. And it's a modern day science fantasy. And it's available right now as an ebook on Amazon. It had gone through a publisher, so it was available in paperback and ebook. But I'm not with that publisher anymore. So right now I'm doing a bit of a more in-depth re-edit. And then once that's done, the paperback version will be available again. So, like I said, it's a modern day fantasy. It initially starts out about 10,000 years ago and very quickly winds its way into modern times. And as all good stories are, it's a battle between good and evil. And I won't give away the ending. Anyway, so that's that one. That's the very first one I wrote, The Staff. Now, the second book I wrote is more in line with what I did during my career as a police officer and forensic investigator. And in forensics, we had a couple of nicknames. We had Ident Guy for forensic identification, and the camera guy, because cameras were a huge part of what we did in recording evidence, right from the scene itself to the autopsies to the labs. Photography was our way of recording the evidence and bringing it into court. So this is a story of one forensic investigator named William Walters, or Bill Walters, and a bit of what he goes through. What I've done is I've taken some of the more interesting homicides I investigated over the years, and with a few changes, I turned them into a multi-genre story of occult, crime thriller, what else? About 2 or 3 different genres in there. And it's the first time I ever tried to write in what's called omniscient point of view. So it's not done in first person or second person. It's done in what's called omniscient. And it's an interesting way to write. And I kind of borrowed that from Tolkien, J.R. Tolkien, with his Lord of the Rings series, which I'm a huge fan. I still read the books today. So this one has been, the rights were sold for the movie version. It's in pre-production, and it has been for a little while. Sometimes it takes a very long time. The script is written, and I've approved the script. They did a really good job. staying with the story. And it has an interesting ending, and I've left it open for a second book, which I haven't started yet. I've more or less just done an outline. So that's The Camera Guy, and it's available on Amazon, and both as a paperback and in ebook form. The next book I wrote, which Ron is, from Ron's Archery, is reading right now, and that's the Archery. And the Archery is Latin for doorkeeper, and it comes from the Roman Catholic hierarchy. The Archery, or doorkeepers, are the last fourth place on the hierarchy. And what they used to do was they would be the keepers of the doors to the church, and they would ensure its security and that nobody entered during Mass. Now, I was born and raised Catholic. I kind of consider myself agnostic at the moment, but old-time Catholic. So there's some Latin in here, but the translations are right after the Latin phrases. What was nice about this is, well, actually I'm going to tell you a bit about the story. It takes place in the 12th century Europe, so it's medieval Europe, and it involves monks with certain gifts that the church has deemed heretical, or basically calling them witches. And they've pretty much got to fight their way through Europe to get to Rome to see the Pope. This one is a 10-book series. I'm currently working on books 2 and 4. Don't know why I skipped over 3, but I'm sure that'll come to me. Each successive book takes place about 100 years after the first. So it's a bit of a thriller, medieval thriller. The nice thing about it was it's historically accurate. I poured over all the maps from that time period of Europe, and I actually made pen pals with some monks in Eastern Europe because I wanted the Latin to be have the same verbiage and tone as that time period. So they were very helpful with that. So, and this is book 1. Now, the next book I wrote, I've written 6 books, 3 under R.W. Goodship, and 3 under my pen name, William R. Walters, which is actually just my name's kind of rigged around. In The Camera Guy, the main character is Bill Walters, which is me. So the reason why I do that is, and I often wondered why people like Stephen King and others wrote under different names as well as their real name, and it allowed them to move about through different genres and different kinds of stories. Stand By Me was a Stephen King novel originally written under his pen name Richard Bachman, I believe. Samuel Clemens wrote under the name Mark Twain. So it gives you a little bit of freedom. And this book, Union Bound, is taken from the real-life diaries of Sergeant Joseph Hoover, who was a Union soldier during the American Civil War. The family was very kind enough to send me copies of his diary. There was 3 diaries. This one is based from the first diary. The second diary has disappeared. They don't know where it is, but then there's the third diary. And they've given me the okay to write a story based on this third diary. Basically, it takes you from his enlistment time and through to when he was captured and sent to prison, his subsequent escape, and everything that he went through to try and get back to the Union lines. This has been made into a movie in the States. It was published through WND Publishers. Um, the movie version starts about halfway through the book. So this is a companion piece for the movie. If you read, when I was reading his diary notes, it's very amazing. I was taken back by how well spoken he was for not having a lot of education. Like we always look at ourselves as being well educated and civilized. His writings had an almost Victorian tone to them, and a lot of words were used back then to describe certain things or people or situations that we have kind of twisted and made into unflattering, given them an unflattering meaning. But anyway, that's Union Bound. It can still be purchased at Barnes & Noble's, Indigo, Walmart, Target, and I think most of the Civil War museums in the different states. I'm actually quite proud of this book, and I was very honored by the family to trust me with this story. So that's Union Bound. The next one, this is the last one that I've actually had in paperback and an ebook, is The Lost Hoard of Alaric. And this is also a companion piece to a documentary they were going to shoot. And actually they had done a lot of location shooting in Italy and everything. What it is it's the story of the Visigoth Alaric. And he managed to defeat the Roman Empire and sacked Rome. He laid siege to Rome 3 times. On the 3rd time he actually got inside. The first 2 times they paid him off in gold and silver. The 3rd time he said, I'm going in anyway. And he sacked the city and carried off an awful lot of gold and silver, a lot of treasure. And before he could leave Europe, he died. Now, following the Visigoth burial ceremonies for especially for hierarchy, the treasure was buried with him, and it was done in secret. So those who worked on his burial site, which would have been huge to contain all the treasures, were subsequently killed and tossed in. I'm not quite sure who killed the people that killed the people that dug the grave, and then who would kill them. And I'm not quite sure how that works. At some point, somebody's got to know. But the Visigoths didn't keep records. So somewhere in Italy is basically an unfathomable fortune waiting. And people have searched for a long time. And even Adolf Hitler, just prior to the Second World War, and maybe during the Second World War, also looked for it. He never found it. Nobody's found it. A lot of people have thought they knew where it was. Now, the archaeologist that I worked with on this is a brilliant man. Unfortunately, he died during the initial filming and preparation for the documentary. He gave me all of his notes pertaining to the behind-the-scenes story and the involved. So what I did was I turned it into a thriller, a mystery thriller. Now, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with the documentary. The director's still working things out with his family as far as the rights are concerned. But luckily when I signed the contract, I kept all the rights. So, that's that one. The Lost Hoard of Alaric. And hopefully, Ron, you'll get a chance to read this one. I hope you enjoy it. The sixth one is a non-fiction, highly charged political narrative. So that's all I'm going to say about that one. You know, with stories, people either like them or they don't like them. When you venture into this, is my one and only diversion or travels into non-fiction area, especially something that's such a hot topic, that I will not be doing it again. Don't get me wrong, the book has had some good reviews, but it can get nasty too when you start voicing opinions. So that's that. I am continuing to write with the Archery. Books 2 and 4 are underway. I'm also working on another book, and again, this is something totally out of my regular writing style. I've started a book called Tank, which is science fiction, which is my first foray into that genre. So between all of that, it kind of keeps me busy. I haven't done a lot of writing in the last little while. I've been busy doing other things, as well as archery. But I gotta tell you, the archery actually has helped me get more concentrated and focused on my writing as well, which is exactly what it was supposed to do. So there you have it. Those are my books. And what I'll do now is I'll get my kit together and we'll go shoot some arrows. Alright? See you in a bit. Hello again. So, we're back out here on the range. And another beautiful day. I don't know what the hell happened to Canadian weather, but September's turning out to be pretty good. We did have a pretty bad storm a couple of nights ago. Again, we ended up with tornado warnings, but none materialized, at least not around my neck of the woods. And today, it's beautiful. It's going to be, I guess, about 20 degrees, which is, you know, nice. Very nice. Not too hot, not too cold. Perfect. So, yeah, here we are. Let's do some shooting. Got good grouping on that, a little low, but good grouping. Okay, like I said, good grouping. They're a little low, but they were fine. We are shooting again at the 20-meter mark. You're going to have some days where some of your arrows are just not going to do what you want them to. Some people have asked me how come I only shoot 3 arrows, or usually only shoot 3 arrows. One, actually it was Armin Hermer, who mentioned this, and at the time I was shooting 6, 7, 8 arrows into the target, and he said you should only shoot 3. After 3 you kind of get bored, your aim gets a little off, you know, your arm gets tired, and he's right, especially with what I'm pulling. I went to 3 arrows, and in indoor competition and outdoor 3D competition, watching the world's archery championships over in Europe on YouTube, and yeah, they shoot 3. So, and the indoor, it's always 3 per set. 1, 2, 3, and then go to the next set. So, ever since then, that's all I've been doing is shooting 3, and I like it. It gives me a chance to regroup if I have 1, 2, or 3 bad arrows. Then on the way down, I can go, oh, you know, smarten up, and that's what you did wrong, and, you know, by the time you collect your arrows and walk back, you're going, okay, now you're ready to do it again. So, gives you a chance to get unfrustrated. Not bad. That last one was a little wild, I pulled it. I dropped my arrow. And no, Ron, I'm not going to say it. Enough. Andy and Joe will probably get wind of it anyway. I'm not going to say it. Well, in the center of the target, they're just kind of, you know, all over the center of the target. Oh, that didn't even come close to the center. I felt that one in my fingers. Oh. Yep, that third one. As soon as it left my fingers, I knew. And it's funny, I think you all can relate. I know the arrow's bad. Just the split second I let go, I release. I know. And hindsight's 20/20. It'd be nice to know just before you let go. So, anyway. Oh yeah, that's not bad. Bit of a redemption. Something I forgot to do. I think it was about 2 videos ago, I was talking about going up to North Bay, where I'm from, to see my family. My mom and my older brother, my twin brother. And I had taken a couple of photos of my brother Raymond, my older brother. And I was showing him how to shoot a bow. And I said, once I figure out how to get the photo onto these videos, that I would do it. So hopefully you're going to see it right here. Ah, crap. Okay, so anyway, there it is. His photo. And that's that. Oh, always gotta be that one arrow. Okay, well, I'm gonna do some more practicing, obviously. So, but for now, I'll say bye. And remember to like and subscribe. And stay safe, stay healthy, and good shooting.